Look at this shit. Look at this right here. Tell me it's not crazy.
This is just crazy.
This is what's going on over there right now.
Wild. You feel the whole
Nah.
concrete shaking. Oh my God.
Nah. You have people riding around in boats through neighborhoods. Streets are covered. Like I said, cars are covered. If you are in these areas, you need to go now.
You thought one giant sinkhole tearing Indonesia apart was bad? Tell me why they just found 700 sinkholes opening up in Turkey.
18-year-old who went missing while hiking near Dracula's castle has still not been found. 18-year-old George Smythe went there on the 23rd. He was hiking through the area and gave a call to emergency response in Romania.
So you're saying none of us are actually from Earth?
Not the Earth you think you know. The 7 continents we live on aren't our birthplace. They're a containment zone, a prison sealed off by the ice wall.
Devil's Lake in Wisconsin. This lake has everything. Dead giants, leviathan, serpents. It's in the mountains. It's a glacial runoff. And they speculate it could be 10,000 years old.
This is called aerated water, and it is extremely dangerous. Also, it's mostly poop. So unless you want to drown in a lot of poop water, do not jump in this.
Man, what's good with the collective? Y'all know we back with another banger, another reaction. I appreciate everybody who been tapping in, running up, and subbing up. If you new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. I know we coming with about 4 videos every smooth 7, and this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps collective grow, helps collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate you. If you're watching the TV, whatever the case is, I wish it was smooth 7. Might be a trigger warning or 2. I hope not. But again, I appreciate you, man. If y'all going through something tough, I'm telling you, keep your head up, bro. I be going through shit too. I might smile on camera. Y'all might think everything perfect, but I be going through it too. So don't think you by yourself, but we just got to keep our mindset right. But I love y'all collective. Y'all know what it is. I ain't gonna hold you. Let's get straight to the video, man. Let's go. Bro, Diddy told him to do it. Gotta be cap, bro. I don't know what y'all think.
This guy is at a crematorium.
Lights, they turn off automatically at a certain hour. And I'll tell you right now.
Oh, audio distortion. That's interesting. This is like mortuary assistant. Oh my God. Oh my God. The lid opened up? I didn't see it. Oh my God, dude!
Someone sent me this Ring camera footage, and I can't stop thinking about it. They only had this camera to watch their dogs, but the same day they brought home a vase from a consignment shop, one dog started barking at it like it was a person. All day long. The dog would just walk up to the vase and just bark. That night, their phone started blowing up. Motion detected in the living room. While the house alarm was on, the dogs were locked in the bedroom. When they checked the footage, you can clearly see what looks like a human figure in front of the fireplace and into the kitchen. No one else was home. Not a single alert. Nothing else has ever happened. Be honest. Would you have kept that vase? To me, this is the most compelling footage I have honestly ever seen in my life. Especially it being a relative, somebody that I personally know, makes it even crazier. Make sure to like, follow, and share my content so I can keep bringing you more stuff like this.
I was in Africa. The Book of Egypt. The Igbo people have literature from the time of Adam.
Yeah.
That right there was mind-boggling. And then in their schools, they teach them about Tartaria.
Right. There's a lot of different shit going on.
In their literature, in their school system, they teaching them about Tartaria, showing them maps that they don't show us here.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm scared of that. That's why I walked it.
Bubby, you stay with us.
I'm going down.
Ooh, it's purple.
You want this room,
It's Harry Potter themed.
I ain't see nothing. Let me know if y'all saw something.
This might just be the creepiest footage you see all week. Not only am I going to show you a portal, the portals that entities, ghosts, demons can travel through, you're going to see an entity come out of the portal. What makes this even more interesting and wild, this is captured on a Ring camera. This guy sent it to me. It's on his front porch, and you can actually see him walking into his house, and he is totally oblivious to what's going on behind him. He cannot see this with his eyes, but his camera picked it up. Watch this quick video. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've ever seen a portal, I want to know about it. Have a great day. God bless.
Something walking in and up out of that light.
The demon's voice that you're about to hear in this video is clear and legible. If you are spiritually sensitive, I do not recommend watching this video. It makes me sick to my stomach every time I hear it. This is the same demon from my childhood home. This video was taken in my childhood home by my mother before they tore the house down after she sold the property. This is the same demon that made my friends wake up in the middle of the night, as I've told stories of, and leave at 3 a.m. having their parents come pick them up. You tell me what you hear when you hear this voice.
Okay. What, you uncomfortable?
Stop recording.
Stop recording. Okay. We're gonna
Missing.
Missing.
I don't know.
If this is an ace, then Hosea. Here.
I heard some. Did dude's eyes look different colors to y'all?
Are investigating after 5 members of the same family were found dead this.
Hey, yo, this chick right here caused the death of her entire family. With this dude right here. She met him while she was out there dancing and found out that he was getting money, so she got mad close to him. Meanwhile, she had 2 young niggas in her head telling her to set the man up and shit. They ran up in the man's house, got him for 40 bricks. When the man came to, he tracked her ass down, killed her mother, her father, and her 3 siblings, all for the name of money. I don't know what the wrong with these young girls out there setting these old niggas up, but yo, these niggas out here ain't playing. She wasn't even home, so she ain't catch the wrath. She just another lost soul roaming the earth without a family member. That looked like he wasn't playing no games. I don't know why the she decided to do that shit, but it cost her her entire family.
Look. Them YNs wouldn't even know how to get those bricks off, even if when they got their hands on them. So he probably ended up getting, I mean, I'm sure the product got replaced. I don't think they put it, and if it didn't get replaced, some of it was used. But they don't even have the clientele to get all those bricks off. They don't even know who to talk to or how to talk to them. That's first and foremost. Second, when you got young girls who's doing stuff like that, that's because they unfamiliar with how extreme shit can go in that world. You get what I mean? And nor do they even care because they think they probably pretty enough to slide off or get away with it when that's not the case. But I mean, that shit's a slippery slope. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. Prayers to everybody affected. I just wish everybody could make better decisions. Put it like that. I just wish we all could not make mistakes. And mistakes was a thing that was just rare for us to do. That's what I wish. If it was a perfect world.
Was found beaten to death in his protective custody cell in prison. This wasn't his first time in the news though. Check this video out. This is after his first release for molesting children.
Them. Now out on probation, it's not technically against the law for him to live so close to children.
Probation's awesome because I get a lot of things out of probation.
Shannon, you're a convicted. You're standing across the road from a school alcohol. Do you think that is responsible?
Trust
As
me.
you can see,
I've got a
he
lot of
truly
responsible
just thinks
things,
it's a game.
man. You know, thank God
Playing
he's
with
gone.
people's families, their kids, their lives. And he was arrested for doing the unthinkable to kids in a school bathroom as he posed as a security guard. Now, before he was arrested, and people even knew he was a chomo, check this out. This is him on a show in Australia that I guess is big, like a hidden camera type of show or whatever. And they interview him unknowingly because he's like just a weirdo. Look.
Once I do full combat training, then I'll be able to get on my taser and everything.
Try to get the taser on that?
However, there would only be 2 more times he makes the news. It would be for this, where a dude catches him at like a train station and just fires his ass up. Look. And the last time he was protective custody cell and beat his brains out. Let's get into it. Shannon Norgate, the man that pretended to be a security guard. He was first jailed in March of 2020 after being found guilty of 5 child offenses, including a 2019 sexual assault of 2 boys at Gladstone School bathroom while dressed as a security guard. For that, he only got 4 years in prison and served only 14 months. Now, I was doing full-on armed robberies on dealers. I deserved to go to prison. I spent all of my 20s in prison. However, this man dressed up as a security guard, assaulted our children in school bathrooms, and only had to do 14 months of his 4-year sentence. He would get released on supervision as a registered sex offender. That video and the one playing overhead where he's on the news laughing and having fun, yeah, that's when he just got out. And he was in front of a school doing that. Yes, so he went to prison for 14 months for assaulting 5 minors in a school bathroom, gets released early, and then while he's on parole, he's living next to a school. And like all these piece of shits do, he immediately reoffends. First charge was grooming a minor. He would initiate contact to a 12-year-old boy, expose himself, offer money, which caused him obviously to catch a new case that violated his parole, and engaging in that behavior was a whole entire different sentence. What do you think he got? He would get 3 years. Less than what he got for the first offense, while on parole for assaulting 5 young boys. But hey, at least the judge said this: you're a true predator. No, you're the true predator, Judge. You want these children to get hurt, but it's all right. We understand. He would only be in prison for a month when justice would truly be handed to him. The correctional center he was located at, in his protective custody unit, he would look dumbfounded, waiting for his breakfast call out. His door was not fully secured or relocked. 2 inmates allegedly knew the camera footage in that area was limited or not functioning. The 2 inmates would immediately enter his cell. When they found him, barely alive, he was suffering from brain bleeding, severe head trauma, internal bleeding, a broken nose, dislocated shoulder, a broken knee, and the cause of death was reported as internal bleeding and head trauma. Shannon Norgate, dead, beaten to death for over 17 minutes. The cameras didn't work. His self-defense techniques didn't work. Because a man who assaulted boys, got out, did it again, and got less time. Even mocked, lived by a school, didn't give a fuck. It took the inmates to say, oh, no. You're not going to go back out there and hurt our children. Look at this guy. Stay out, stay free, us.
Just to get an idea, this thing's like 10 feet wide. Thing is insane. It's like 10 feet wide. Make it make sense, St. John's Divine. People. Archways. People. Archways. See? St. John's Divine. Make it make sense. Come on, St. John's Divine. Come on, St. John's Divine. Make it make sense. What does this have to do with God? Make it make sense, St. John's Divine. Would it be a day without the lions? Make it make sense.
Was that built for us or giants? Let me know.
You thought one giant sinkhole tearing Indonesia apart was bad? Tell me why they just found 700 sinkholes opening up in Turkey. And y'all, these things are not small either. They're talking about 150 feet deep and 150 feet wide. These things can swallow up buildings. Look at that. Don't that look like an eye? What the? Look at this, y'all. These things are giant.
This is one of 700 sinkholes that have opened up across Turkey. As you can see, they're not small ones. These are gigantic. Here's another one that opened up right in the middle of a farmer's field. You can see how large this is. So here's a video of the vastness of some of these sinkholes that was put out by the London Daily Mail. And they look like meteor craters. They're so big. These are drones that are flying inside of the sinkholes throughout Turkey. Like I said, there are 700 of these. And apparently in the book of Numbers, they talk about sinkholes opening up like this sometime. And apparently this is happening all throughout Turkey very rapidly. I didn't really realize it was quite so.
And here's the crazy thing. I read up on Turkey, and apparently they have a whole bunch of underground cities there, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But do you guys believe this has anything to do with this? Because whenever we hear about this, y'all, we never hear the ending to this, right? We'll see this, so many people will videotape this, but we never hear anything related to this. Like, why? What is this? What is this, y'all? And then there's actual books that speak about this. When we see this, you know, this is like a bad omen, you know, but in a good way, right? The endings, beginnings. But yeah, y'all, giant sinkholes open up in Turkey. Not one of them, but 700, y'all. But yeah, something is definitely happening under there, y'all. The bunkers, y'all, remember? Let me know down in the comments, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
I'm willing to bet it's something from them bunkers.
was watching the news, they just said we going through the calm of the storm right now in Washington. Them folks said we need to start preparing for landslides, double the amount of flooding, 50 to 60 mile an hour wind, like atmospheric rivers, fog, and a possible chance of snow. Listen, prepare yourself. It's better to be ready than to have to get ready. They put the warnings out already. They put the evacuations in order already. Please take care of yourself and your people, man. It really ain't worth it, because everything you got, you can get back. Everything is replaceable, and I'm screaming it, because I come from a state where we prepare for hurricanes, tornadoes, like we prepare for this stuff. Ain't no waiting till the last minute. And you gotta remember, people don't like to help you on an everyday basis. What makes you think they're gonna help you when you're in a real life situation? Most people only care about themselves and their people. So don't put your people in a situation to where you need help from somebody else. Hey, take care of yourself. Hey, y'all have a good day.
The 18-year-old who went missing while hiking near Dracula's castle has still not been found. 18-year-old George Smythe went there on the 23rd. He was hiking through the area and gave a call to emergency response in Romania, saying that he was cold, he was lost, and he was feeling like he was hypothermic. So everybody went out to go to try find him. By the time they got to where the call was made, which was about 4 to 5 miles from the castle itself, nobody was there, but all of George's belongings were there. So his sleeping bag, backpack, some food, but he was nowhere to be found, and there was no trace of where he would have gone. Because it's winter in Romania, it's been snowing there so bad that there's been risk of avalanches, there's been fog, there's been snowstorms, there's been all kinds of stuff that have caused search parties to call off the search multiple times, which is just creating an issue of probably not being able to find him, because the more snow comes down, footprints get covered up, so there's no way to really tell where he went. Police officers did say that George was taking a strange route to get to the castle, that it was about 15 miles long, not the typical trek to the castle where most people go, which could have just been that he wanted to take a different route, get more scenic, off the beaten path where there aren't a bunch of tourists, but that probably also made it a lot easier to get lost. And once he realized he was lost, he likely hung up the phone, and because he was hypothermic, kept moving, but left all his stuff. Usually when you're hypothermic, you experience delirium, so there probably wasn't a lot of logical thinking going on at the time. As of right now, they still have not found him. I believe search efforts were called off again. They're going to continue looking for him, but at this point, there really isn't a trace of where he could have gone. I also saw some people saying that his stuff was found in the castle. That's not true. That's not in any news source that I've seen. So if you have a link to a news source that says his belongings were found inside of the castle, please let me know, because I have not seen that.
Be some shit if a vampire did get his ass. He learned that day.
So you're saying none of us are actually from Earth?
Not the Earth you think you know. The 7 continents we live on aren't our birthplace. They're a containment zone, a prison sealed off by the ice wall.
A prison for who?
For us. We're descendants of people who once lived beyond the wall, civilizations so advanced and defiant they couldn't be controlled. So long ago, someone made a decision: isolate them. Populate these continents with carefully selected descendants, erase their memories, erase their origins.
You're saying we are not natives here?
Exactly. We were placed here. Richard Constantine orchestrated what's called the Great Placement. He found these untouched lands inside the ice wall and realized they could serve as the perfect cage. But how do you populate entire continents? Embryos. He harvested them from the ancestral lands, raised the first generation just enough to survive, then released them, let them believe they were inventing fire, tools, agriculture, when it was all designed.
So, all of human history is staged?
Absolutely, and for my safety, it is just for entertainment purposes.
Hello everybody, I'm currently on my laptop right now, and I appreciate everybody who's been sending me birthday wishes, as today is my birthday.
Happy birthday,
so
honey.
I felt like it was the perfect day to be transparent and honest with you guys.
Y'all, I don't know about this Casanet,
I understand that he said he's going through some mental changes. As I watch this video, I'm just like, that's not the same Kai, fool. It looked like he was reading off a script. I'ma say it, mental health is nothing to be played with. So if his mental is really messed up, then I hope he pulled through that shit, cause that shit is tough. But y'all, listen to his whole video, and y'all let me know, do y'all think that's the Kai you accustomed to hearing? Not even because he's saying he's going through mental issues. It's just the way he's talking and everything. Everything just seemed a little off. And then I still go back to the Streamer University jump when he was outside and he told people, God is king. He said, keep God first. And people was looking at him. He was like, no, I'm serious. Like, he had the little regret face and he was just like, no, I'm serious. Keep God first. It just made me think, I know he's about to have one of the craziest moments next year. I'm just hoping he didn't give nothing up for that role. And if he did, that can factor into why his mental can be fucked up. But y'all let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments. I fuck with you, KC3, so I'm hoping you didn't do that.
Guys, so my father was almost tonight at Bel Air in Rancho Cordova on Sunrise. So he said that he was running errands and the parking lot was super packed. And so if you've been there, you know that the Starbucks is at the back of the parking lot. He had to park at the back of the parking lot because, you know, everybody's shopping for Christmas. And he noticed 2 cars over, there was a white and black fancy, like probably new 2025 station wagon. And I don't know who makes station wagon. I'm a little riled up right now. And he said their brights were on. And he thought, you know, he watches all of my stuff and he thought, well, that's odd to just be sitting in a parking lot with your brights on, but the engine was not running. So he locked the door. He hustled into Bel Air because it's freezing here in California. And he walked out and he noticed the cars next to him were gone, except for the station wagon. And he walked out and he said that all of a sudden, he was carrying his groceries. He looked up and this man, this like 6'1" dude with a scruffy beard and he had like nice clothes, came up to him and he was wobbling and he like had a cane and he was like, hey man, can you help me? I need help. My car's over there. I just need you to come over to my car and help me. And my dad was like, no. I'm sorry, man. I gotta go. I gotta get home to my family. And he's like, no, man, just come on to my car. Come help me. And he's like, no, I'm not helping you. And he tried to hand him something. And my dad, knowing all the things, he was like, absolutely not. He raced to the car and he said that some other dude came out from behind our car and ran over to their car. So he was very convinced that they put an AirTag on the car. We've triple checked the car. There are no AirTags that we can see. But he said he got in the car, he locked the doors, and this guy came on the other side, was banging on the windshield banging on the car window, and he just turned the car on and hightailed it out of there. He started honking like crazy and he hightailed it out of there and they ran back to their car. He firmly believes they were trying to take him. They were trying to take him. So a lot of people say, oh, that's not possible. You know, there's an age limit. There is not an age limit when they're taking perfectly healthy people for their organs and organ harvesting. There is no age limit. So stop this nonsense. I see it in my comments and on my DMs all the time. Oh, my mom's too old. My dad's too old. I'm too old. No, you're not. No, your parents are not. In fact, they want to human people in their 60s and 70s that are perfectly healthy. And he said that the guy kept asking him these weird questions like, where are you from? What's your weight? What's your height? And he just knew immediately that he was about to be human. So he's filing a police report now and I'm shaking. I am literally shaking. Like, I report on this all the time, but you guys, trust no one and don't accept anything that anybody hands you. If someone tries to talk to you, hightail it the F out of there. This happened at night. It was dark and nobody saw it. All right, so I'm checking my car for any AirTags.
What is this? Do you work for the chicken shop? Do you work at the chicken shop? Is this meat? This ain't meat, is it? Is this for consumers? Is this for consumers?
This is for pizza.
Pizza? Pizza. Okay, so you're not going to pick that up and pull it back onto the base?
No.
No?
It's going to go on top of each to maintain the heat.
Okay, and the food goes inside here?
It goes under the oven. It doesn't go straight there.
Okay. All right, I need to see the consumer's rights. I need to see the consumer rights.
What do you mean consumer rights?
I just don't like how this stuff is on the floor and then, you know, you're trying to attach it back and then you're pulling it in there and you're part of the chicken shop. So I just need to see the consumer rights. You don't have the consumer rights. Well, I need to shut you down. Yeah, I need to shut you down. You need to stop this immediately. Can I go inside as well, please? Can I go inside as well to see? Why not? I cannot leave. I'm here for the betterment of the people. Where are you taking the fluff? Where's the fluff going? You're not going to attach it back to the base, are you?
It's not going in the base. Okay?
It's not going to the base?
If you don't know this, please
yeah.
don't talk. Yeah?
Okay, that's why I'm asking the question, because I'm here for the protection of the people, because people eat this food, and I don't know, you don't eat the food. Do you eat the food?
Yes, we do eat the food.
You eat the food?
Without selling a food, what do you mean? Thank you.
I think you're lying, though. I think you're lying.
I think they lying, too. What y'all think?
In the red string, it's like you're put into pass for you to come together. Okay. But the other string is you guys were actually in the same area, in the same coincidences. You guys just never seen each other. Okay. So fate, God, Jesus is like keeping you apart, because if you guys were to meet right now, it would not work out. But there's a moment that you're supposed to meet, and then that's when it will make you think, yo, yeah, this is like your time.
Yeah. No, I believe in that. The red string theory is one of the most things I believe, because yeah, it is. If something hops in your timeline, shit, I might have not met you. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
It's so interesting because I really do want to meet someone where I was there, I just never acknowledged them, type of thing. You know those? Like I wanna bag it like where holy you were there for that. I didn't even like know you were in the room.
But if someone, okay, say someone does the timeline, would that not be a mistake though? Because they're hopping in your timeline, so there's like a contradiction.
No, it's not a timeline thing. It's just it's a timing thing.
Timing thing? Yeah, no, but what if someone hops in that timing thing and it's like, wouldn't that be a mistake but the right thing, because it would push you towards? So it's like, what is it?
Like and follow for more.
That's a deep convo. I just learned about the red string theory.
Have you ever heard of the red string theory before? It's a theory from the Chinese proverb that says two people that are destined to be together are connected by an invisible red string. This shit might sound wild, but the more you listen to the theory, the more it actually makes sense. String can stretch, tangle, twist, do all kinds of crazy shit, but it will never break no matter what. Path of the two souls might actually cross many times before they even come together. Y'all remember the movie Us by Jordan Peele? I remember how the tethered always used to connect hands in like a line type of format, signifying a string. In this movie, we saw that red string everywhere. It's a reminder that even though things may look chaotic, everything is connected. Adelaide and Red were tied together with something more than just their reality. They were linked. Their fates were twisted and tangled since birth. Ain't gonna front. Sometimes I sit back and wonder about the person on the other end of my red string. Like, how far has it stretched? How many knots have been tied in it? How many times have we crossed paths and never even knew it? Then I think maybe the string wasn't ready to pull us closer together yet. Like, we literally could have been in the same spaces, feeling the same energy, but because the timing wasn't right, we weren't pulled together. It's like in Us, when the tethered kept their lives bound to one another, and they waited for the perfect moment to reveal themselves. So do you believe in the red string theory? Because I definitely do. For nothing else, this theory is just a reminder that no matter how far we go, no matter how wild life gets, string is always going to lead us to where we need to be. When the time is right, though, it's all about trusting that connection, no matter how twisted it looks on the outside. Make sure y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
Do y'all believe in the red string theory?
And as I keep telling you in all my previous videos, something is not right with 3i Atlas, and something is definitely going on. And as I've explained in my previous video, 3i Atlas is to make its closest path to Earth on December 19th. And should we be concerned? I think we should. Take a look at this headline from the New York Post. Space agencies conducting the largest ever planetary defense drill with 3i Atlas approaching. And the article is even more concerning. It's a practice run for Armageddon, with 3i Atlas just days away from making its closest approach to Earth. Agencies around the globe are conducting the largest and most exclusive planetary defensive drill with the goal of protecting ourselves against future threats and beyond. Here are just a few of the agencies that are participating in this drill. The European Space Agency, ESA, NASA, and over 23 nations have launched the largest planetary defense drill as Interstellar Visitor approaches Earth. Here's a look at the timeline and where 3i Atlas has been and where it's going. And as of December 15th, the interstellar object 3i Atlas already about 270 million kilometers from Earth. So as I say in all my videos, this is for entertainment purposes only. Why do I say that? Because the only confirmation we have is from news articles that I just showed you. No government, state, or local officials have confirmed any of this information. So I guess my question to you is, are they hiding something? Are they not telling us something? Should we be concerned when 3i Atlas passes on December 19th? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Why don't we just say a bunch of things that we know that they'll never cover? Okay, ready, go. Trump Jr. didn't have any silverware in his house. No one thought that was weird? Okay, are we still rolling? Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia put money into Disney, so just know there won't be any girl characters in the next Cars movie. Are we still rolling? This is wild. Why have so many presidents' chefs died? Weird. Boy Scout of America, they renamed itself Scouting America. You know who else changed their name? Sean Combs. Just saying. Let's learn something in 2025. I can't believe you guys are still letting me go. This is amazing. I love CNN.
Do y'all think that was on purpose or she was just going?
At least it wasn't The Simpsons this time. Right? So of course you heard about the Reiners and their son unaliving them, right? Specifically, abbing with the S on the front.
Fog just like last year. Anybody remember that last year around this time we had this wicked fog like all around that looks like particulate matter? I don't even want to go out in this shit. I mean, look at that. I don't even want to go out in this shit. It ain't wet. What in Sam hell is going on here? Anybody have this going on? This is Southern Illinois right now. Like, I don't even want to go outside, like, no joke. This is wild. This does not look like fog. It is more of a particulate matter. Alright, so see, it's just really thick, really bright. It's been 5 days like this. But this is crazy. It's not wet either. Like, look, it ain't on the windows. It ain't moisture. It's not on the house. And it kind of smells funny. This is like aerosols, man. This is like, look at this crap, dude.
See, I didn't get its smell. I just, yeah, what?
You see the shit that just happened in Australia where all those people lost their lives because of an attack. So why is it major news pushing the fact that the FBI just confirmed that they stopped a New Year's Eve plot that was supposed to happen in Los Angeles? Not a drill, not online threats, not talk, an actual plot. 4 people are now in federal custody. And according to the feds, these individuals are being identified as an extremist group. And this wasn't one location. This wasn't one moment. They were allegedly planning coordinated IED attacks at 5 different locations. You heard what I just said? 5 different locations, 5 targets, same night, same city. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
Right
Listen
now,
to
the
this shit.
FBI in California has 4 people under arrest accused of planning this attack
You
that
heard
would
her?
have started with a series of coordinated IED bombings around Los Angeles.
Now pause right there. New Year's Eve, crowds everywhere, people distracted, fireworks, tourists, families. That's not a coincidence. That's strategy. They even went as far as taking these bombs that they had to a remote area and letting them off to make sure that they work. Look at this.
Here it is
They
right here on your
wasn't joking.
screen, testing these bombs
Look at
out in
this
the
shit.
Mojave Desert. I understand we were just made aware at this press conference. It was after this video was taken that those arrests were made.
Right now they're saying the threat is neutralized. But I can remember a certain somebody saying that we should be paying attention for these type of things that's going to happen. Now think about this. They said that they are an extremist group, which means it can be way more people than the people that they arrested. meaning it could be in other states, other cities. So please pay attention. Be mindful that this is going on, because apparently they're keeping it quiet for a reason.
My best advice would be don't let your guard down. Keep your head on a swivel, because just because, again, they caught them don't mean they didn't catch the rest of the homies. It still could be a whole lot of them anywhere. Like anywhere, your state, your city, your town, your county, wherever you at, bro, they could be there. Not saying it is, but they could. It's for entertainment. So what I'm saying is not true. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. I just pray the world could be a better place for our youth, for us, for the generations after, bro. Shit don't make no sense why we always at war with each other.
Hell yeah, congratulations.
Bro look tweaked out.
Devil's Lake in Wisconsin. This lake has exercises in this lake.
Really?
Yeah. They have restricted underwater zones. There's been reports of unmarked black vehicles after these sightings, and there's occasionally those like stealth helicopters that fly around this lake.
If they're getting involved, there's something there.
Something there.
That's gotta be.
I ain't never heard of this rabbit hole.
These flight paths prove what we've been trying to tell you for years, that they're spraying our skies with dangerous, heavy metals. There is no reason that a plane should be flying like this over and over and over again. Los Angeles is always full of chemicals. There's always these weather events that happen there, fires, all this stuff. We all know this, guys, and this is why. Look at these flight paths. It's completely obvious what they're doing. They're not flying people places. They're going back and forth and spraying their chemicals in the sky. I'm going to prove to you guys that this is all chemicals that they're dropping. And I want people to start waking up, because this is not what we should see with flight paths. Look at these. Look at this. It's completely obvious what they're doing to us. Now you can prove this yourself. Go to your car, scrape up all the dust that's on the window. It's not dust. This is the heavy metals that are falling from these chemtrails from the sky. And you'll see when you try to stick it to, a magnet, it'll stick because they're all heavy metals. This is what they're spraying on us. Graphite, aluminum, barium, this. And then here's a perfect example of a contrail versus a chemtrail. Contrails are water vapor. They disappear. They're at the same altitude. There's no reason for one to just disappear and then one to linger and spread out across the sky. They are spraying us like rats, and you guys need to wake up. Contrail versus a chemtrail, 100% evidence. So next time you look up and you see this, just know that, this is why everyone's under the weather, because you're literally under the weather, what they're spraying on us. Stay woke in these streets. Let's not let these people do this anymore. Peace and love.
To take it a little bit deeper. So you know how we got hit with fog, right? We just saw a video of Illinois getting hit with fog. We saw other places getting hit with fog, right? We see all type of weather, crazy weather things popping off, whether it's floods, whether it's landslides, it's hailstorms, it's rain, levees breaking because it's too much rain hitting. whatever it is, they got weather manipulation, right? So why in the hell can't they look out for us and manipulate the weather from shit up? Excuse my language, but messing everything up around us, bro. You can't save us, but you could manipulate it to harm us? It's for entertainment. What I'm saying ain't true. I just had to ask. I had to ask. I had to.
If you accidentally fell in this water, you would die within minutes. You would sink right down to the bottom and not be able to swim. This is called aerated water, and it is extremely dangerous. Also, it's mostly poop. So unless you want to drown in a lot of poop water, do not jump in this. You've heard of still water, but this is the complete opposite. And it is extremely fast-moving, bubble-producing water that is at water treatment plants that is so dense in bubbles that you physically cannot swim or float in it, and you sink right down to the bottom. There are a whole bunch of signs all over these things saying like dangerous. There is absolutely no buoyancy. You will not float. Even if you are the best swimmer in the world, you will sink right down to the bottom and die in poop water. You will sink. You can pause to read this whole thing, but basically the gist of it is that there is no buoyancy because you need a whole bunch of oxygen to break down the water. So essentially what this is, it's a sewer where it's like a whole bunch of like oxygenated bubbles to like clean the water, and it needs that. But you cannot swim in that water because there's so many bubbles, no buoyancy, you sink. So would you rather swim in still water or aerated water? I think that I will take the chance with the brain-eating amoeba in the still water because I do not want to die being tickled by poop water particles. Thank you.
Well, I wasn't going to this video, but I need y'all to see this because my world has been shattered and your world needs to be shattered as well too, right? It's not like I ever liked Megan Fox, but my God, y'all, haven't we seen this? This has always been in our face. Apparently, there's even a men rule about it. Look at this. Men rule number 93. And the crazy thing about it is Megan Fox is 39, 93. So y'all think that rule is specifically made for her? But check this out, y'all. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Look, y'all. It's always been in our face. You can clearly tell that is a little boy dressed up. Oh my God. Oh my God, Boys to Men. Because how does this happen? Check this out. How did this happen? Young Megan Fox, right? Older Megan Fox. Where did the breasts go? Where did they go? And then ta-da, back again in 2025 with a more strong trap area. Like, what happened over here? What happened? Like, what is going on here? Oh my God, is that the reason why she started in the movie Transformers? Oh my God. And then she went on a talk show where this camera was strategically placed where you can see this thing behind her saying, call her daddy. You know, it's insinuating that her is actually a he. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because again, Hollywood is about casting spells in illusion, right? This is the illusion, making you believe that Megan Fox, giving her the name or him the name Megan Fox, and making you believe that he's actually a her. Spells, and then the illusion is him dressing like a her. But I need y'all to hear this. Check this out. Listen, he's telling y'all.
You've had your nose done, you've had your tits done, and what? Botox and filler? That's it, right? Oh, there's one thing I had done that I'm gatekeeping because, sorry. What? It was really good, and it's not a known, like, plastic surgery. People don't even really know about it. You don't need it, I don't think. Really? You're not gonna want it. I wanted it very badly, and I needed to do it. And it's something that... Can you give us a hint? No.
Y'all gotta wake up, man. This thing is literally an illusion. Everything is an illusion, y'all. What are we doing, man? What are we working for? What are we looking at? What are they making us look at? What are they making us eat? What are they making us drink? They literally put us to sleep, y'all. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up. Is this the America that you guys are fighting for? Is this the world that you guys are fighting for? Because it's always been in our faces. I'm not sorry, y'all, but this world can go. This thing can go, y'all. I'm done with this. I'm ready for the new start, man. Are you guys? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. I've been telling y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
I can't unsee it now that I see it.
So you're telling me it's a shooting at Brown University, and there are 8,000 cameras that surround Brown University, and you can't find the person that did it? Mind you, 2 people lost their life. Numerous people were shot. You make an arrest. You broadcast this person all over. You take this person in for questioning, and then you release the person that you take in. So not only did you get the wrong person, you might have single-handedly ruined this person's whole life. Mind you, again, they don't have video footage of anything going on. Now I'm gonna ask this, how is that possible? You can go back to videos of the press conference, see how they're talking, see how they're conducting themselves. They don't know anything. It's almost 4 days after this thing happened, and they have no suspect. They have nobody in mind. They have no footage of somebody doing this. And the footage that they did have, they used to arrest the wrong person. I need you to let that sink in. What is this saying to the people that live in Rhode Island? What is this saying to the students that go to that school? It's saying that you have somebody that's still on the loose that committed those crimes, which means they're able to do it all over again after the heat dies down. Every time someone in that faculty is asked what happened or do they know anything, they say, I don't know. Police are saying, I don't know. They don't know. And that shit is crazy.
They know. They just don't want to say. Because it was a inside what? It's for entertainment. What I'm saying ain't true, man. I'm going too far. Let me shut my ass up, bro.
Terrence Woods Jr., who vanished while working as a production assistant on the popular show Gold Rush, Dave Turin's lost mine. Now, witnesses say Terrence was working on a shoot at an abandoned mine when he suddenly sprinted down a cliff into the wilderness, never to be seen again. Now, his parents, Terrence Woods Sr. and Valerie Butler, say the story about what happened to their son, well, they say it just doesn't add up. 2018, Terrence Woods Jr. was hired as part of a crew who would head into the remote mountains of Idaho to explore abandoned gold mines for Discovery Channel's Gold Rush, Dave Turin's Lost Mine. 4 days into the job, he sent his father a baffling text. He would be leaving weeks before schedule and heading home. Then later that night, at a shoot in the middle of nowhere, he dropped his radio, according to witnesses, and sprinted down a cliff into the wilderness, never to be seen again.
Terrence Woods was reported missing around 5:30 the evening of October 5th.
Terrence Woods was a promising student here at the University of Maryland's Philip Merrill College of Journalism. A 2013 graduate, Woods was in his element when he disappeared.
The Idaho County Sheriff says Woods was filming a documentary in the Oro Grande area with London production company Raw TV and was separated from his film crew when he went missing.
Idaho County sheriffs say Woods was acting strange, left the rest of his crew, and went over a steep drop.
He would not stop, he would not return, and he just kept going, and they lost him there's a road down below where he dropped almost straight down.
One member of the crew told police that he saw Woods drop his two-way radio and run down a steep hill.
Friends and family claim he has no history of mental illness, and this doesn't sound like him at all. Any of this sound at all like Terrence?
Not at all. I find it really hard to believe any of the accounts that we've heard today and previously. Just not Terrence. He's exceptionally professional. Not only have I worked with Terrence, but I was also responsible for placing him into a number of production roles, of which I used to get text messages, WhatsApp messages, emails telling me how incredible a contributor he was, how professional he was, the fact that he thought before, he would think about things before they even needed to be done. He was very can-do and constantly making the life of his team easier. So none of what I've heard at all describes Terrence. He wasn't someone to behave in the way they've described at all.
There were 12 people on this shoot, correct?
Yes, that's what we heard. That's what was told to us.
Got another private investigator. He brought up some facts to me that no one mentioned before. There was a professional basketball player. He had two of his sons that was out there as well the day of the shoot. One of the sons is supposed to be getting some type of counseling now because of whatever took place. That was never even mentioned to me.
Okay, and have you talked to the other 11 people that were there?
We haven't spoken to anyone except for the production leader, producer, Simon G, and 2 executives from Board TV. I first spoke with Simon G. He expressed to me how disappointed he was with him, how he came highly recommended, and that they didn't interview anyone else because he was so highly recommended. But when he arrived at the site, they were extremely disappointed. He didn't know the lens of the camera that he was asking for. Or they wanted him to get lunch and he couldn't get the lunch.
I used to get text messages, WhatsApp messages, emails telling me how incredible a contributor he was, how professional he was, the fact that he thought before, he would think about things before they even needed to be done.
He just went on and on about unnecessary things when I asked him what happened.
Why would he talk about performance issues when he's missing?
That's a question that we asked as well, but that's what he dwelled on. He didn't dwell on the fact that our son was missing.
We haven't ruled out that something bad happened, but as far as foul play, we've found no evidence of any foul play.
Do people disappear like this?
I wouldn't call it regularly, but if you live in the city, then your definition might be regularly. We happen to have one missing at the very same time, and so people got confused thinking they were related. There was an older lady that was working for an outfitter, and she disappeared at the same time.
Was she found?
Not a trace.
So parts of Pacific Washington are extremely flooded. They're saying that the levees broke and they are now under level 3 evacuation. Mind you, that levee that broke was the levee that holds the White River. You have cars flooded, homes flooded. You have water that is over vehicles. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this right here. Tell me that's not crazy.
This is just crazy.
This is what's going on over there right now.
Wild. You feel the whole concrete shaking. Oh my God.
Nah. You have people riding around in boats through neighborhoods. Streets are covered. Like I said, cars are covered. If you are in these areas, you need to go now. Mind you, there are thousands of people who are about to lose their homes. There are people evacuating by the dozens. And again, they're saying that anybody in that area needs to leave. They need to go. When these people cut budgets, they can't warn these people effectively about what's about to happen. And look what just happened. If you out there, if you have family out there, better send them some love and tell them to be safe. I'm out.
Hello everyone, thanks for coming to my episode of Tartan, Philadelphia. Today, I'm down here in Old City, Philadelphia, and I would just like to show y'all these giant doors on these beautiful pure marble buildings.
Because I don't feel like telling you how it all works.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny.
I mean, just look at this, yo. Look at it. Look at how beautiful the ceiling is up here. Look at how beautiful these doors are. This is what our ancestors left us. They left us a story. And if you pay attention, You don't know what that story is. Oh, come on, Mom, come on. It's okay. I'm almost done.
In the middle of your shoot.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Short enough.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Have a good ruining
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. These old Philadelphia doors is like, yo, it's beautiful. The building's beautiful, yo. It's just, I'm speechless. I forgot about it, when I came down here today, man, and I walked, man. Just let me show y'all the outside of the building. I don't even know what to say, yo. It's just beautiful, man. This building is made out of pure granite and pure marble, yo. Look at the size of those doors, yo.
2 levees broke in the last 36 hours in the Seattle area. Like, this is catastrophic flooding. We should see so much more about this on the news. It's only on TikTok, like a little on the Times, but this is a catastrophe. This is an emergency.
But then again, they won't manipulate the weather to stop this shit.
Ever heard of or been intrigued by the idea of astral travel or lucid dreaming? This is a very strange story that you'll want to hear. This came from someone named JP. It's allegedly true. He says he works in law enforcement, and he shared that fact about himself because he said he wants you to understand that he does normally not subscribe to the hippie or new age ideas, his words not mine, that are common when dealing with this kind of thing. And so far, the only person that knows what's really going on is his wife, who's the one that encouraged him to share the story. He said that she follows me on here. He doesn't. He swears what's happening is very real and it's starting to freak him out. He said he has been tested. He's in sound physical and mental health. Okay. He describes himself as a very normal guy, and he says the only really weird thing that's ever happened to him that he couldn't explain was when he was a kid. He was about 6 or 7. He was raised by a single father. His father was also in law enforcement, and his father had this friend, like his best friend, who was also JP's godfather. And JP loved his godfather. Every time he would come over, JP would be really excited. His godfather was like a second father. Kind of stepped in when JP's mother died and helped his father raise him. So anyway, JP's like 6 or 7, and this one morning he wakes up and he knows that his godfather is coming over, and so he draws him this picture. He goes in the kitchen, his dad's already up having coffee, and JP puts the picture on the kitchen table in front of his dad, and his dad's like, oh, you drew me a picture? And he's like, no, that's for my godfather. I don't know the godfather's name, we'll call him Joe. He's like, this is for Joe. And his dad's like, oh, okay, I'll give it to him when I see him later. And JP's like, no, he's coming over, I want to give it to him now. And his dad was like, he's not coming over. JP's arguing back and forth with him, and he's like, no, he's coming over. Like, I know he's coming over. And he said at the time he didn't really understand how he knew he was coming over. He assumed like he must have been told that he was coming over that day or something. But as they're arguing about it, there's a knock on the door, and his godfather walks in. He's got like a dozen donuts or something, and he gives them to JP, and his dad's like, oh, I didn't know you were coming over. And he's like, yeah, I was in the neighborhood. I figured I'd grab some donuts and bring him over. JP's like, see, I told you he was coming over. But in retrospect, he found out that his godfather didn't plan on coming over, and his dad had not told him he was coming over. So that kind of struck him as odd, but he was a little kid. He never really thought about it much. He just figured he must have known, like, somehow that he was coming over, that it was said to him or something. JP said he didn't really think about this again until a few years later when he was 11. One night he was having this very vivid dream that he was sitting across the table from his godfather, and out of nowhere his godfather grabs his chest and he says, it hurts, it hurts. And JP says, how does it hurt? And his godfather reached across the table and touched him on the chest. And he said, it hurts like this. And as he touched him, it struck JP as so hurtful that he woke up and he was grabbing his chest. He said he knew inherently that something was wrong with Joe. So he goes in his dad's room, he wakes him up, he says, something is wrong with Joe's chest. Dad wakes up, he's very confused. He's trying to assure JP that there's nothing wrong with Joe, and he gets him back to bed. But as JP's falling back asleep, he hears his dad on the phone in the other room, and he comes in JP's room and he says, Joe's in the hospital, he had a massive heart attack. He said, we have to go to the hospital now. Joe did end up making a full recovery, luckily, but he remembers his dad and Joe talking later on, like, how could JP have known? Asked him questions endlessly about it, and he just said, I just had a dream. Time goes on, and when JP is in 6th grade, he ends up joining the Gifted and Talented Education Program, which is also known as GATE. I've talked about that a lot before. JP did say he was always a good student, so it wasn't really surprising to him or his father that he was asked to join this program, and they just thought it was for accelerated children. But JP remembers doing a lot of exercises in which they were asking him, like, do you know the picture that's going to come next on the screen? And they would show him a blank piece of paper, and he would have to try to tell them, like, it's a monkey, or it's a donkey, or it's a dog. And then they would show him the picture, and they would analyze his answers. He said he also remembers having to drink what he described as a pink drink after some of these exercises. Ends up graduating middle school, going through high school, and at the end of high school, he is invited to go to a certain military school. I don't want to go into specifics, but he said he was sought out for this university. This program, I'm not sure which of the two it was, but after graduating from there, he graduated with honors and he was invited to essentially test for one of the official alphabet agencies doing government work. And so he tests and he actually does not get the job. Because initially he was accepted to work for this agency, but later it was retracted on a technicality, not his test scores. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but whatever, no big deal. He wasn't planning on doing that anyway. He just kind of fell into it and he ends up going into law enforcement like his father. Life is moving right along. Mid-20s, he meets his wife who is a nurse. She works nights, he works days. One day he gets off work and she's about to go into work and she calls him on the way to work and she's telling him all about how she's had a really hard week and she's just kind of going through it. And JP feels bad. He's like, I'm going to take you on a really nice date tomorrow. Like, we'll make this right. We'll make you forget about your job. He had a really long day that day as well. So he ends up falling asleep pretty much immediately after eating dinner, and he doesn't even say goodnight to his wife that night. And in the morning, he wakes up to a text from her, and she sent it about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was a picture of flowers. And she sent him something along the lines of like, I just want to thank you so much for bringing these to my job. You know, it really did make my day a lot better and show me how much you cared. And JP was very confused because he didn't send her or bring her flowers. And so he calls her immediately after waking up, and she doesn't answer at first because she had gotten off work and she was asleep. But eventually she calls him back and they're going back and forth. And he's like, I didn't bring you flowers. And she says, no, they said, you know, at reception or the nurse's station that he had hand delivered flowers. And that really rubbed him the wrong way. And that really, for the first time, made him question his mental health because he was like, something is going on. I did not leave my house. He said that she was insistent that another nurse who he had met before did hand deliver them. And so that actually made him question whether or not he was like sleepwalking. He's like, did I wake up in my sleep and get her flowers and drive them to the hospital in the middle of the night? Checks everything. He has no charges for flowers. His car's in the same spot. At the time, he was living in an apartment that had like street parking. His car's in the same position. So he has no idea what's going on. He concludes that basically somebody else is trying to like woo his wife. She doesn't know what to make of it. So she's like, yeah, I guess the other nurse just had you confused with someone else. But like, I don't know who else would have sent me flowers. He said it was very strange, but like, what else are you supposed to do? A year goes by. He ends up proposing to his girlfriend and he ends up moving into her condo. Her condo is on the 3rd floor of this building. And across the hall is this elderly couple that his wife kind of looks out for. Take care of themselves, but they're this couple in their like early 80s, and she's always just kind of like making sure that they're okay, checking in on them and things like that. And so Joe's asleep one morning, his wife was off, and he said that there was a knock on the door. His wife comes in the bedroom and she's waking him up and she's like, can you come out here and talk to B? We'll call the old lady. Can you come out here and talk to B? And he's like, yeah. And so he wakes up, he's very confused. He comes out and B grabs his hands and she's like, I just wanted to thank you. She's like, you really are my guardian angel. I cannot tell you how grateful I am that we live across from you. And his wife is like, B, tell him why you're thanking him. He looks at her very strangely and she's like, well, he knows why I'm thanking him. And she's like, no, tell him why you're thanking him. And B's like, for coming over last night and telling us to turn off the burner. Joe said at that point he had absolutely no idea what was going on, but it turned out that she had thought that he came over, knocked on the door, and told her to check her stove. He had been asleep and fallen asleep while reheating some food and had left the burner on. Joe said he didn't want to freak her out, but after she left, insisted to his fiance that he had not gone over there. And she said, I think you need to go and get checked out. At this point, they were fully convinced that he was sleepwalking. And so he goes, he gets a sleep study done. He takes a week off work to do it. And during the sleep study, they are testing for brain activity, eye movements, and muscle tone. And they do conclude that he has what's called REM intrusion, which is REM features bleeding into other stages of sleep, but it doesn't really explain sleepwalking, and there's no indication that he has narcolepsy or that he's waking up at all in the middle of the night. It doesn't really solve anything for him, although he just thinks this must have something to do with it. And they kind of conclude that Joe must have just woken up and not remembered to tell B to turn off her burner, although they still can't really explain how he knew her burner was on. It's been 2 years since the bee incident, and a year ago his first son was born. 2 months before his first son was born, he had an unusually vivid dream about Joe, his godfather, and Joe came to him and said, I'm not going to be around for your son, but I need you to pay attention to what you're seeing in your sleep. And he said it was so vivid, he woke up, and a month later, Joe passed away from another massive heart attack. He was obviously devastated, but since that night, he said he dreams in binary code. That he has not had any other indicators of being anywhere else while he's been asleep. The vividness of the dream in which Joe came to him and told him to pay attention to what he sees in his sleep really is unnerving to him. He Said his wife has been urging him to get more into meditation to try to understand what's going on. As he said at the beginning, he's had physicals, he's had CAT scans, nothing abnormal, nothing weird going on. That his wife has gone down the rabbit hole about the GATE program because she's convinced that it wasn't a program for gifted children, but extraordinary ones. And although there's no proof it was ever put on by any kind of agency, she's not convinced otherwise. And that's how she stumbled across my videos. What's craziest is JP's story is not unique. I've gotten a ton of stories, and you can find a lot of other people talking about similar type experiences on forums online all over, but no stories are verified. So it's really hard to say if there's something to this or not. I am working on putting together another compilation video. I've done one already about these types of stories so you can kind of compare the differences. Let me know what you think. If you were in the GATE program, I want to hear from you. What do you remember? I don't know if JP will see the comments, but his wife certainly will. So let her know if you have thoughts. And if you have a story that you think nobody would believe, please send it to me.
In that show, that new show that's out on BBC, the war between the land and the sea, let me tell you something. They just preparing us for what's going to go on. Yeah, they just preparing us for first contact. Yeah. And you got to think about it. Look, y'all, Earth is 70% water. 70% of this planet is water. So you have to be very arrogant if you think that we the only beings on this planet. Make it make sense, y'all. They just preparing us for what's about to happen. Y'all got to understand that. What's going on with this traffic out here, dog? Golly, but y'all got to understand, man. Listen. We are about to see some things in 2026 that we never seen before, I'm telling you. Mark my word, y'all. They stopped going in the ocean because they made a deal with the Marine Kingdom anyway. And we about to meet them. I'm telling you. Mark my word, come back to this post. We about to meet the Marine Kingdom. That's why they brought this documentary out.
I agree, man. We do have to be very arrogant to believe we're the only beings on this planet. Or within the ice walls, however you want to look at it. I'm being respectful of whatever you believe. Yeah, I believe that there's something in the waters. That's why they don't go. There's something at the moon. That's why they won't go back. But I am going to have to look at the show or movie he's talking about. I don't even know where to find it, but I will have to search the name up. And I will have to go find it. But y'all know we made it to the end of this. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell so you always notified whenever we drop them uploads. Y'all know we coming with about 4 videos, very smooth 7. And this is for entertainment purposes as well. And when you like and comment and subscribe to the channel, helps Collective grow, helps Collective get bigger, helps more people who like this type of content tap in with this content. But I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, and until I see everybody in the next one, y'all know what it is. We gone.
I just check my account. Sheesh, at the amount. You probably know what I'm